Alright, guys, welcome to the last day of Mahidol League of Legends competition 2021. Today is going to be the finals between Phoenix and Olympians.
Impure fools.
So, right now, Wukong, Darius, and Vayne have been banned.
It seems like Phoenix's side is banning Wukong from the Olympians top laner, as seeing as he played Wukong for the both two games yesterday, which he did really well. So I think that's why really didn't want him to play Wukong today. Do you think that's one of the reasons why they banned Wukong?
Yep, meanwhile, for Olympians, they banned a Darius, Hecarim, and Set. So, Darius and Set has been played by the Phoenix top lane and seems to be doing very well. So they are trying to deny the Phoenix top lane. And as you can see, the Phoenix has also banned a Shaco, which has been very impactful from yesterday's game. And now the first pick by Phoenix is going to be Jhin. And for the Olympians, it seems we have a disconnect. So we will be right back. Apologies for the inconvenience. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience, but it seems it's going to be same pick, same ban.
Impure fools.
So now Wukong, Darius, and Vayne has been banned again, followed up by Hecarim.
The joke's on you! Hey, never pick a fight you can't win.
And now we should see Jhin as the first pick. And it's going to be Lulu for Olympians and Kaisa. So Lulu is probably going to go as the support, but she can also be flexed as in the top lane.
This is pretty weird where both teams review their ADCs or bot laners first. It's kind of not normal from a high elo game where they try to choose the ADCs at the back order.
Yes, and now we have Diana for Phoenix. I must say, from these past few days, Lulu has been picked as the support for almost every game, and she has been doing very well. Meanwhile, Akali has been picked by the Phoenix, which could either go on to the top lane or mid lane. And now Galio is being hovered around by the Olympians. So very interesting decision by the Phoenix. They have two magic damage champions already. And now it's going to be a Morgana and Master Yi ban. And the last ban for the Olympians is going to be Ornn. And it's going to be Olaf, which is banned by the Phoenix. And now Jack is going to be picked by the Olympians. And we have Viego, which is the newest champion released in League of Legends. Viego is a jungler smurf, jungler.
Also be flexed to the top lane, but we're probably going to see him going into the jungle.
Yes, and now we have Leona as the support for Phoenix. And the Olympians is going to pick Nasus.
It seems like Viego's going to the top lane, not the jungle, while the Diana is the one taking the jungle.
Yes, it seems Phoenix are deciding to let the Viego to go to the top lane.
It seems like Phoenix's team comp is mainly about those pickoffs, while Olympians' team comp is very defensive, and they're trying to scale the game out and wait for late game.
I agree. They have a Nasus, a Jax, and a Kai'Sa, which are very late game champions. Meanwhile, the Phoenix, they have a lot of engaging champions like Diana, Akali, Leona. And now we're going to have a 3-minute delay as usual. So we will be right back in a few minutes. All right, guys, we are right now in the game.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
คืนนี้ยังไม่ขึ้นใช่ไหมโอเคนึกว่าแบบค้างอยู่คนเดียว
Okay, yeah. So we had a little problem with the caster, but now we're back. So it seems both junglers are going to start at their bot side.
From the team comp, as I have said, it seems like for Olympian side, they aim for the late game because their team comp is mainly mostly about scaling with the Nasus, the Jax, and the Kaisa. While for Phoenix's side, I mean, if they try to finish the game really fast, it will be pretty good for them because late game they wouldn't stand a chance. But Phoenix's side, they will need to engage very frequent because most of their champions are champions that are made for pickoffs and they're assassins.
Yeah, so Phoenix, they need to heavily rely on their engage and making picks, while the Olympians, they could just slowly farm up and scale into the late game. I would say if the Akali or even the Viego managed to get an early lead, it's going to be very hard for the Olympians to catch up as these champions are very strong.
Yes.
Meanwhile, a little trade between the Akali and the Galio.
Oh, it seems like the Akali overextended a little, and the trade was not good for her. But it seems like both Olympians top lane and mid lane are playing very passive and just waiting to farm the minions while the Olympians bot lane is pushing very far.
As you can see, Nasus is a late game champion, so he is going to be weak in the early game. So he shouldn't really be looking for fights right now in the early game. But you can see the Viego is trying to pressure the Nasus. Meanwhile, Galio tried to go in but misses his dash.
Viego's trying not to let the Nasus get the stacks because if he get the Q stacks, he would be very powerful, and the Viego's trying to delay the Nasus.
Yes, you can see a little farm lead is being started between the Viego and the Nasus.
Also the Galio and the Akali, forcing the Galio to go home and miss a minion wave. Oh, but never mind. He teleported back right away.
Meanwhile, Viego tried to deal a bit of damage on the Nasus.
Well, it seems like both junglers are very passive and they're not ganking now. Oh,
Yeah, Viego going in, gets the tower shot.
that was not a good trade. He took a tower shot, but the Nasus didn't lose a lot of health.
I think Viego should shove in the wave and recall to buy more items so he can come back to lane stronger and harass the Nasus more.
It looks like Olympians bot lane are feeding their lane and putting their wave in front of their own tower.
Viego going in, gets the sun, deals a bit of damage on the Nasus.
But it seems like he's not willing to go all in just yet.
Oh, he gets the sun,
He's
ignites,
going all in.
ults in, Nasus out, he has to flash away. Takes 2 tower shot and the Nasa is going to kill him. Meanwhile, Diana engaging the Jax, Galio outing in.
The Nasus procced his ult and activated his ult just in time to counter the Viego dive, which was very good. And the Jax was there to make sure that their Diana was not able to rotate up to help the Viego.
Meanwhile, Diana going in, gets the taunt by the Galio, and he will walk away.
That was a nice taunt from Galio. He made it so that he would be able to walk out safely.
You can see Akali trying to poke the Galio. Meanwhile, in bot lane, nothing is happening much right now. The Jin is just waiting for the wave to push in so he can maybe get a freeze. While the Lulu and Kaisar are recalling back. Or, nope, they're not.
It's like they don't want to miss the wave.
You can see Dragon has already been spawned and both junglers are on the bot side. Leona going in on the Kaisa. Jin lands his bind.
It seems
But they
like
won't have the
Olympian
damage.
traded better.
Yeah, Jin in the early game doesn't have a lot of damage. Meanwhile, a little bit of trading there by the Viego and Nasus.
You can notice that now the Viego's probably trying to play safe since he's now behind because of that kill, that the first blood that he gave. This is why he's probably freezing his minion wave in front of his own tower so that he could be safe if the Nasus decided to go all in.
Meanwhile, he does a little bit of poke, and now Nasus is going to kill him. Use his Q on the Viego.
Both of them decided not to go all in since the Nasus still have his summoners up, which are Ghost and Ignite. If he went all in, he might have gotten the kill, but it was risky, so he probably backed off.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash, so if Diana decides to gank him, he will not have any means of escaping. Meanwhile, Nasus ulting, Viego has to ult, tries to run away, Diana ulting in, and saves the Viego.
And nice.
A very nice gank by the Diana there. You can see Jack has started the dragon in the bot lane because he saw that the Diana was in the top lane, so there will be no contest over the dragon. And now first dragon is going to go to the Olympians.
The Galio's being zoned under his own tower. It'll be probably very hard for him to roam and help his teammates when they need him because the Akali is playing very, very aggressive.
She's constantly pressuring the Galio. Meanwhile, Viego going in on the Nasus. Jax is going to gank and lands his stun.
This is
Viego
probably
try
a
to
kill.
survive, but will go down to the Nasus.
The Diana's still in the bush. She's probably waiting for the Jax to return, and she's probably might, or they might be even going for Jax. The Akali roaming up top. Oh, never mind. The Akali decides to walk back since it's too risky because they don't have vision in the enemy jungle.
But you can see that the Viego has been overextending, and that kind of cost him his life, which isn't very good for his team as the Nasus is now 2-1. So his transition to the mid game and late game will be much easier.
And notice also that the Kai'Sa is starting to get fed with the very huge CS lead against Jin.
Meanwhile, Galio lands his taunt, but isn't able to do anything.
The Diana's roaming bot. Maybe she's looking for a gank.
Meanwhile, Akali going in on the Galio. Galio lands his stun, lands his dash. Akali tried to trade back some damage. And it's a fairly even trade there. You can see Jax is nearby. Diana has spent a lot of time waiting there. Leona going in on the Lulu. Diana flashing in, ults. Jin gets the kill. They're chasing the Kai'Sa. Leona flash stuns. And Kai'Sa is going to run away. Jin ulting and the Kai'Sa is trying to dodge but gets killed by the two last shots. And it's going to be double kill in the bot lane.
That was a very good engage from the Leona right there.
As you can see that Jin is now 2-0 and he's actually going for the lethality build this game. So not the Gale Force build.
It's probably because of the nerf on the Gale Force, the cooldown, the 30 seconds increase of cooldown. Which is why he probably decided to go lethality instead of the Gale Force.
Yeah, but do you think going Gale Force is still better as it gives him a dash? So it gives him more safety?
Yeah, it's probably better, but it's the Nasus has his W which slows, and it's gonna be pretty hard to dash, and still the Nasus will be probably able to catch up late game, but it will be actual better because of the Galio and the Jax. He could be able to dodge the skills.
Yeah, he can dash the stuns. Meanwhile,
but they will need to, yeah.
When Akali going in on the Galio, has to flash away. Akali flash and ults, gets the kill. Very nice execution there by the Akali, but Jax is going to chase her. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Nasus dealing a bit of damage on the Viego.
For Phoenix's side, they need to look for more of those pickoffs that they just did, or else they wouldn't be able to win late game.
You can see Jax going in on the Akali, but misses his stun. Akali is going to go in on the Jax, lands the Ignite, and he's going to go down. So very nice play there by the Akali.
Probably a DC.
They are going to pause the game. Okay, guys, we will be right back when the Diana reconnects. So stay tuned. All right, we're back, guys. Viego going in on the Nessus. Does a bit of damage, but Nessa is going to deal damage back. Kill. Viego has to flash away.
That wasn't good. The vehicle's a little overextending, and he's kind of not respecting the prio the Nasus has.
Yeah, and I think that flash wasn't really necessary as well. But you can see the Nessus is starting to deal a lot of damage with just one Q. Like Q, not kill. It's hard
Yeah.
to pronounce the kill and the kills. Sometimes.
And it's also like the vehicle. Remember in the early game he was ahead in CS, but now the Nasus is starting to gain, and he's leading. Actually, he's leading the vehicle in CS now.
Yeah, you can see the Nessus has completed his mythic item, which is Divine Thunderer. So it's a tank killing item. It gives him more damage and more tankiness. Meanwhile, Viego is going to go for the Blade of the Ruined King, which, if you don't know, the Viego is actually the Ruined King himself. So he's buying his own item. But you can see the Nessus is starting to deal a lot of damage, and it's also tanky, which isn't looking good for the Viego at all.
Diana seems like she couldn't find ganks on top, since she might even the Nasus might get a double kill if she goes there, because he's pretty very strong right now, the Nasus.
Yeah, going top lane might be more of a risk. So Dana might be looking to gank bot lane more as to help up the Jhin. Meanwhile, Dragon has already spawned and Jack is going straight there. You can see Akali roaming down to see if anyone is doing Dragon, and she is going to encounter 3 champions. She's going to E away from the Jack stun, Lulu outing the Jax to keep him alive. And the second Dragon is going to go to the Olympians. Meanwhile, Galio uses his taunt. Akali going in, but Jack is going to flash stun the Akali. Akali moving away. Akali going in back on the Galio. Nice Diana out there. And now they're chasing the Lulu. Jhin lands his stun, so it's going to be a dead Lulu. And now the Diana is 4-0.
That wasn't a very good fight for Olympians. They were kind of overextending, which they chased the Kali too much.
Yeah, and very nice out there by the Diana, which managed to save the Akali life as well. Meanwhile, Leona trying to engage the Kaisa, but misses her. I think it's her E, which is her. Yeah. Very nice kill participation there for the Phoenix. They managed to get a 4K gold lead now. You can see Diana trying to invade the Jax. Goes in, outs him. Galio outing the Jax. Is going to get the knockup, but won't be enough because the Leona is going to take the Jax down. Meanwhile, 3-man on the Galio. He's trying to run to the Lulu. Lulu outing the Galio. And that's going to be it. So very nice engage there by the Diana. You can see that their team comp is starting to come alive as the Leona and Diana are engaging the Jax.
It seems like Phoenix is not paying or giving any heed to the Nasus top lane, which could be a problem to them in late game.
Yeah, meanwhile, first turret has been destroyed by the Akali. I do agree, if they decide to give the Nasus a free lane, they might struggle in the late game.
Because the other champions on Olympian side, they could just slowly take their time to recover and farm up and they would still outscale the enemy team very, very hard. So this is why the Diana is trying to delay them as much as possible and for the Jin to get as fed as possible and end the game very quick.
But it would be interesting to see if Viego use his passive on the Nasus because as you know, Viego's passive is whenever he gets the kill on a enemy champion, he can possess them and get access to their skills and items. So if the enemy Nasus is fed and the Viego managed to possess the Nasus, then the Phoenix will have a strong Nasus on their team. Meanwhile, while I was speaking, you can see that the Akali has killed the Jax again.
Seems like the Galio and the Jax are trying too hard to get the Akali, which I don't think it was a good idea because it happened 2 times now. For the first time, when they chased the Akali, they managed to lose nearly the whole team, and then they just lost the Jax again. So they're probably going to try to play safe now. They're not gonna engage, and they're just gonna farm up.
Meanwhile, Nasus is slowing the Viego. Viego trying to dash away. Nasus queuing the Viego. Deals a bit of damage. But Diana is going to gank him. Ults the Nasus. Nasus ulting to keep himself survive. But it's going to get killed by the Diana. So you can see...
Diana is very fed.
Yeah, you can see the Diana is starting to pressure the Nasus, which is good for Phoenix. Meanwhile, Akali going in on the Galio gets taunted, and the Jax is going to follow up with his stun. Akali trying to survive. Meanwhile, Diana going in. Akali gets the kill on the Jax and the Galio. So, not looking good there for Olympians jungle and mid. And now Ocean Drake is being taken by Phoenix.
I think it seems like Olympians are trying to force too much.
Yeah, it seems. You can see the Galio hard engaging the Akali and Jax committing to the fight, which cost them their lives. Right now, the Akali is very fed with a 204 CS, which is around 75 CS lead. But meanwhile, you can see the Kaisa has a 40 CS lead over the Jin. So do you think the Kaisa might have a chance at carrying this game? Meanwhile, Akali
Yes.
going in on the Jax.
Oh, this is...
And he's going to go down. So very strong champion the Akali is, despite the nerfs this patch.
I think they're for Olympian side, they're probably hoping their ADC will be able to carry late game because the ADC is playing very, very safe. She's just farming and she's not engaging in fights. She's just playing very safe.
Yeah, and in the later stages of the game, when they have a tanky Nasus in the front line, the Kaisa will have room for dealing a lot of damage in the back line.
They also have the Galio ult and the Lulu ult, which could help the Kaisa and the Nasus be able to survive the late game.
Meanwhile, Jax going in, misses his stun on the Akali. And that's going to be it. Then ganking bot lane again. Leona lands his E, and it's going to be a double kill. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, a fight happening. Viego and Akali gets the Nessus. Galio lands his taunt, but will get killed by the Akali. Or sorry, I mean Viego. Meanwhile, Jax going in for the Jhin. Jhin trying to run away, misses his stun, jumps in on the Jhin, and lands the last auto attack. Leona trying to deal a bit of damage. Meanwhile, Viego is running down to help the Leona. Jax gets slowed by the Jhin Flower, and the Viego is going to get the kill. So that's an ace for Phoenix. And now Akali is going to take the tier 2 mid tower, while Leona and Viego are going to take the bot lane tower. So you can see the Phoenix is starting to snowball this game. They might want to be closing this game as fast as possible.
Seems like I think Olympians are forcing still. They're still forcing the fight. Even when the Galio 04, he's trying to hard engage the 7-0 Akali, which I don't think it's good to do that. They should just farm. But they tried so much to fight while their team's not all there and they're separated, which is not good.
Yeah, and more. However, they also well, meanwhile, Diana just one-shot the Lulu there.
He just exploded.
Yeah, but what I was saying is that they know that their team scales better. So instead of looking for fights, they should just farm. Meanwhile, Akali is overextending. But she knows she's fed, so she's probably fine.
And it seems like the Narcissus is starting to turn to buy magic resistance or. Oh,
Meanwhile, Diana just one-shot the Kaisa there. So
might be
yeah,
a problem.
the Diana and the Akali are just too fed that they kind of like delete their AD carry.
No matter how the Nasus is very powerful late game, if they manage to get Olympians ADC and the rest of the team out of the way, and they can just gank up on him.
Meanwhile, Diana going in, gets the ult. Lulu ulting the Galio, but Jax is going to go down. Akali going in on the Nessus. Viego lands his stun. Nessus ulting to survive, but gets killed by Viego. Meanwhile, Leona tanking the tower. It's going to go down by the Galio, and Viego is going to go down as well. So it's a 2-for-2. Nothing major there. The Phoenix still has a massive goal lead with around 13k goal lead. Now you can see the Viego has bought a Gordringer.
It seems like he would try to play as the Phoenix's tank, and he would try to take the damage for them in late game.
Yeah, because he was behind from the Nessus, so going for a more damage build like Trinity Force might not be good. You can see Kaisa has completed her Collector, which I would say is a weird item choice, as Kaisa relies heavily on attack speed and attack damage, but buying Collector as a second item might not be useful for her.
I think for Olympian side, they lack damage. As you can see, when they did many 2-on-1 pickoffs, but at the end they failed to successfully picked off due to the lack of the damage they have.
Yeah, the only damage they really have is the Kaisa, as the Jax is too behind to be able to deal any damage.
And the Nasus is kind of overextending. He might pay for that. He goes up to meet the Diana.
And Nessus is going to get 2-manned by the Diana and Leona. Meanwhile, Akali is going to deal a little bit of poke. Galio tried to zone the Akali out.
The Akali goes in.
Jack has to jump away.
The Akali decides to back off, I guess.
Yeah, if she decides to go in, she will get 5 men by the enemy team.
It seems like now Phoenix are trying to push as much as they can or siege, while Olympians are just trying to hold it out and stay together as a team.
Because the longer they wait, the higher chance the Nessus and Kaisa are going to catch up and get fed. And now the Phoenix is starting Baron. You can see Olympians are trying to come and contest, but the Akali is just going to zone the Galio. Akali going in, gets the kill and deals a massive damage. Lulu outing herself, gets exhausted, and Akali is going to go out. So now I guess we will be expecting to see Phoenix trying to take down as many turrets as possible and try to close out the game, as now they have the Baron buff.
Oh, taking a little poke from the Kaisa there. Galio might just get picked off.
But Jin misses his bind, so he is going to walk away.
That was a very close call, and I don't think it's a wise decision to just face check now in this point of the game, because it could lead to a 4v5, which was not beneficial for the team right now.
Now then, Nessa is going to wither the Akali, but he won't be able to do anything as the Jin was there to back the Akali. Meanwhile, the water dragon or ocean dragon has been taken by the Diana, and now they're one away from Seoul. Jax might get caught there, but he's going to survive. You can see Nessus walking out of his space, which might not be a good idea as he can get collapsed on.
Leona's probably thinking of diving the Nessus or zoning him.
Yeah, but the Lulu was there in time to speed him up.
Oh, the Nessus is getting collapsed on.
Leona landing her E, gets the stun. But Lulu's out is going to help the Nessus survive. Nessus swinging on the Viego, has to flash. Leona going in, has to flash away as well. And now the Nessus is ghosting and chasing the Jin, gets stunned by the Viego. Jin trying to help, but can't do anything. Nice survive there by the Viego, managed to get away. Meanwhile, Diana is closing the game. Jack's recalling back, but Diana is going to deal damage and it's going to go down by the Kai'Sa.
The massive shutdown goes to the Kai'Sa. That's not a very
Yeah.
good thing, but
Meanwhile, Akali going in, gets exhaust.
Oh, the
Galio and Jax misses their stun. Akali is going to get the Lulu before she goes down. So 2 massive shutdowns there.
I don't think that's a very good thing for Phoenix because they just gave 2 big shutdowns to the enemy ADC and the enemy jungler, which the enemy ADC could get fed from that and they could just turn the game.
Yeah, but you can see from the last fight that the Nessus is starting to starting to be more impactful now, as he was chasing both the Leona and the Viego, and the Jhin wasn't able to deal any damage to the Nessus at all.
He was able to hold out until the Lulu came to him, which was very good for Olympians now because the Nasus could probably just solo tank the whole team and just let his teammates get a free damage on the enemy team.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Baron spawning in 1 minute, so we might see a fight happening there as the Phoenix might need the Baron buff to close out their game as soon as possible.
However, if the Olympians decided to fight on the Baron, if they lose the fight, the game might just end.
So it all comes down to each team's decision making. But despite the shutdown, you can see the Diana still has her 700 gold bounty. And now Lulu might get caught, but is going to run away.
I think both teams are waiting for the other team to make a mistake. Oh, and the Leona's cut off, but they're not going to engage on it.
Well, Baron has started. You can see on the minimap, the Jax is still on the bot side jungle. He is making his way up. Meanwhile, Leona trying to zone the enemy team, and Baron is going to be melted. Meanwhile, Nasa's getting caught by Leona, out. Galio going in. Diana gets the 3-man pull. Huge damage there. Meanwhile, Akali flanking the Nasus. Jhin trying to deal damage. And the Nasa is going to go down. And
that's gonna be game.
Yep, it's an ace, and it's the. Sorry, I am lost of words right now. But yeah,
yeah. The Nasa is kind of overextended, and that's game. โอ้โห NASA รีบเข้ามากเลย
Alright, guys, we are at game 2 of the finals. And first ban of the game is going to be Darius by the Olympians.
Questions my ability.
And now Wukong has also been banned. So same ban as last game.
Fight you can't.
And now Set has been banned by Olympians again,
Impure fools.
as well as Rain. So Olympians are targeting the Phoenix top laner as they have already banned 2 top laners, the Set and the Darius. Meanwhile, Phoenix has banned Wukong, which has been a very problematic champion from yesterday's game. And now we have a Hikrim ban.
The joke's on you.
As well as a Shaco ban. So same bans as last game.
I think most of these champions that were banned are champions that they have seen in this tournament that have caused a lot of problem, which is why they decided to ban those champions.
And now the first champion is going to be Morgana. So first Morgana in this tournament, as she was banned in almost every game. And now Yone is being hovered and it's going to be pick.
Yone is a very, very, very powerful hyper carry late game, but if he gets to late game, that is.
Yeah, he is one of those champions like Yasuo, which is a cancer champion. So he can go 10-0 in one game or maybe 0-10. And now Nasus is going to be pick. So it probably be Nasus in the top lane and Yone in the mid lane, while Morgana can be flexed as a support or a mid lane. Meanwhile, Shogas being locked by the Olympians.
Olympians probably picked Shogath just to like counter the Nasus, and Shogath is very good against the Nasus, both early and late game, so I think that's a very good idea.
And now Pantheon is being picked. So Pantheon is also a very flexible champion. He can either go to the mid lane, the top lane, or even in the support role.
The Pantheon's really, really strong from the recent patch, so he probably would be going to the mid lane to just snowball against the Yone early game.
Yes. Meanwhile, we have a Orianna. So interestingly, the Orianna can be played as both the support or mid lane,
Greatest enemy.
but we'll see which lane they decided to go. Meanwhile, Master Yi has been banned. So a very strong champion played by the Berserkers. Sorry, I mean Olympians from the past few games.
My genius will be understood.
And
eventually.
Jin is going to be banned. We might see a Caitlyn ban here, as Caitlyn synergized very well with the Morgana,
You will not prevail, Void.
but it's going to be the Kai'Sa.
I recommend skipping.
And now Lulu is going to be banned. You can see the
Yasuo.
Phoenix is hovering over the Yasuo, but decides to pick the Severe instead. I don't really see Severe as much recently.
Yeah, she's really low damage, so not a lot of people are playing her now because she's She's very hard to be fed with, and she won't make it to late game most of the time.
Meanwhile, Saya has been picked by the Olympians. So I would say two kind of underrated ADCs in the recent patches. And is it going to be Udyr? And it is going to be Udyr in the jungle. So also a very underrated champion. Meanwhile, Pyke is going to be picked as probably the support for Phoenix. And now we can see that the Phoenix has a Yone top, Nasus jungle, Orianna mid, Severe bot, and Pyke support. And as for Olympians, we have a Shoga top lane, Udyr jungle, Pantheon mid, Saya bot, and Morgana support. I would say Phoenix has a very strange team comp here.
It's very, very strange because we don't see a lot of Nasus jungle these days because, as you can see, it doesn't work because it will be very hard for him to get the stacks.
Yeah, and they kind of lack a frontliner there.
And
but now we're going to have a 3-minute delay as usual, so we will be right back. Alright guys, welcome to the game.
Summoner's Rift.
Now you can see Olympians are invading the red side jungle.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And it seems they're going all the way around because they want to get the first blood pick off as much as possible. Since they
Yeah,
would do really well.
Nasus early game isn't really the best. Now Nasus is going to ghost away. And he will survive. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath is staying, possibly for an invade. But then he decides to leave.
Seems he just wanted to gain vision on the enemy jungle.
Yeah, so you can see Nasus is starting top side as well as the Udyr. But the Udyr won't be getting any leash this game.
Oh,
Pike walking in,
Makes
gets
sense.
bind, managed to kill the Morgana back, but won't be able to do anything. Very weird positioning there by the Pike.
The Saya was level 3. I think it could possibly be a kill for Olympians.
Meanwhile, Yone tried to poke a little bit on the Cho'Gath. Morgana queuing but misses, as well as the Pike. But you can
Might be
see
very
that,
hard, yeah, for bottom lane because of the spell shield.
yeah, you can see the Pike has picked into the Morgana, which naturally Morgana is a counter to Pike because of her black shield. Meanwhile, Pike walking in, Saya flashing away.
I think that was a bit of miscommunication coming from the Morgana and the Saya.
Yeah, but Phoenix managed to burn the Saya's summoner, which will be benefit if the Nasus decides to gank. You can see Udyr and Nasus is contesting for the scuttle, but Nasus is going to walk away. Meanwhile, Saya gets her bind.
Oh,
Nice shield by the Severe there.
if he didn't shield, that would probably be a kill.
Yeah. Now a bit of poke by the Yone. Saya lands her
Oh,
bind, and Severe has to flash and heal away. Meanwhile, a fight happening in the top lane. Udyr chasing down the Yone, and he's going to fall, and it's first blood. Meanwhile, Pike going in on the Saya gets the kill, tries to walk away and will survive. Meanwhile, Morgana trying to deal as much damage as possible.
trade a 1-for-1.
Unfortunately, we didn't saw what was happening on the top lane.
Yone is probably going to have a hard time now.
Meanwhile,
and
Pantheon jumping in does a bit of damage on the Orianna. Misses his Q though.
It seems like he's going in the bot lane.
But
He misses his Q.
hook. Yeah. Meanwhile, Morgana is placing a ward. Lands the bind. Gets bind by the Morgana, and Pyke is going to E away. Meanwhile, Yone is dealing a
Seeing
bit of
all his
damage.
skills.
Yeah.
He could probably do a lot more, but he missed his W and his Q, so.
And Shogun is going to poke back.
Oh,
First dragon is going to be taken by the Udyr. Now Shogun
decides
going
to
in.
go in.
Yeah. Yone has
he's-
to E away.
And he needs to come back still. And,
Ooh, nice bind there by the Morgana.
And
Pyke
there's a
going to
kill.
go down. So nice bind by the Morgana. But you can see the Pyke was positioning very weird there.
He was kind of overextending, and here comes
Meanwhile,
the Nasus.
Nasus going from the behind. Saya going in for the Sivir. Gets killed. TP by the Shogun, and the Nasus has to back away.
The kill, however, goes to the Nasus, which won't benefit the Severe.
Yeah, but the Saya doesn't really have any choice as she would die anyway, so she decides to go in on the Sivir. Meanwhile, Udyr, a little bit of was chased by the Orianna there. So you can see the Pantheon going in on the Orianna. Does a bit of damage.
Bot lane.
But Nasus is there to save her. Big ult by the Orianna, and the Nasus is going to kill the Pantheon. Very well played by the Orianna there, I must say. Nice hook by the Pyke, but doesn't land the stun.
Yone uses his ult to get away from the two-man gank from the Udyr and the Shogath.
You can see the Orianna is starting to have a CS lead over the Pantheon. Morgana lands her bind again.
Bot lane for Olympians is doing pretty well. The Saya is doing pretty well in terms of both CS and kills.
Now Yone going in on the Shogath for a little bit of damage. Pyke trying to hook, gets the minion instead and has to E away. Sivir will not get bind by the Saya, but will take a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Pyke charging his hook, misses and gets a bind. And he won't go down as he still has his E to dash away. You can see Udyr is invading, Nasus ulting and ghosting the Udyr, chasing him. Pyke misses his hook, gets bind, Pantheon outing in. Pyke trying to survive and finds the Shogath. Yeah, nice TP by the Shogath. Pantheon trying to kill the Sivir, gets the Sivir, but it's going to go down. Meanwhile, Shogath out of position. Flash outs the Pyke.
Oh, the Saya is very free.
Yeah, meanwhile, Saya ults but misses. Orianna trying to deal damage. Gets a kill on Udyr. It's a triple kill and a rampage.
The Nasus and the Orianna are now very ahead because of the very scattered positioning from Olympians.
Yeah, they played that team fight very well. You can see the Yone, he doesn't teleport but decides to push instead, so he might catch up with the CS. So now you can see the Orianna is half farm the Pantheon. Meanwhile, Pyke trying to hook. Morgana uses her Black Shield just in case. Dragon spawning in 3 seconds, so we might see Udyr going there. Meanwhile, Pyke hooks but doesn't stun and has to E away. Ooh, nice hook there by the Pyke. Late Morgana shield there.
The Pyke's going in.
Pyke going in,
Oh,
gets the stun, and the the Morgana is going to go down. Saya trying to chase the Pyke.
the Saya might go down for this overextension.
Sivir outing, gets killed by the Pyke. Meanwhile, in top lane, the Shogun gets ganked by the Nasus. So it's a 3-4-0. Meanwhile, Udyr has taken another dragon. But because of that decision, he doesn't go help his team and his bot lane will go down.
This game is the first game where Phoenix is pressuring every single lane. It's kind of very hard for the Olympians to rotate and gank.
Yeah, Phoenix is very upping up their game this game and trying to win, as they know if they win this game, they will be the champion for this year's tournament.
Phoenix also knows that late game, they will also win because they have a Yone and a Nasus, which is very, very strong compared to the Olympian side where they only have the Saya late game, which is kind of hard because the Udyr and the Pantheon will fall off, while the Shogath would only just be the tank, but he wouldn't be able to do anything because he would get ganked.
Yeah, so they chose the Pantheon and Udyr to kind of pressure the early game, but they don't seem to be success in that. And now you can see the Pantheon is starting to fall off as the game transitions into the mid game. Nice damage there by the Orianna. Pantheon going in, but it's going to go down. Udyr trying to chase the Orianna. Gets the stun. Orianna outing the Udyr, and the Udyr will go down as well.
Nice plays from Orianna.
Yeah,
Outplay.
She managed to land all her abilities. And now she's going to have a 700 gold bounty. Meanwhile, Pyke charging his hook as it lands. And now, first turret possibly has been destroyed in the mid lane. Morgana landing her E. Sorry, her kill, not her E. But Pyke is just going to regenerate there with his passive.
Seems like Yone already got the Kraken Slayer, which is a tank or very high damage mystic item. Oh,
Meanwhile, Pyke going in on the Morgana. Hourglass.
From Shogath.
Saya trying to run away. Flash by the Saya and gets divined by Morgana.
Pyke misses his ult also. Oh, and the Pantheon's coming in.
So it's a 5-man bot. Nasus getting chased. Managed to.
Oh, he deals a lot of damage.
Oh, meanwhile on the backside, Orianna kills the Udyr. Saya outing. Gets a kill on the Shogath. And now Morgana is going to go down. So it's a 4-for-3. And now Saya recalling, but the Yone is going to stop her.
Oh,
This is the
decided
blast
his
cone. Yone ulting.
alt.
Gets
He
the
also
bind.
chase.
She has to chase. Gets the
She's
Q
dead.
knock up and she's dead.
And now most of the Yone is starting to get fed, which is not a very good thing.
You can see the Oriana is now pushing the tier 2 tower as she is very fed. And now the bot lane are taking the tower. You can see nice damage by the Oriana. Pantheon has to flash. And it's going to go down.
Nice plays from Oriana again. 9-0 now. Legendary.
She is very fed. Meanwhile, Morgana trying to stop the tower from being destroyed. Pyke going to get caught. Tries to survive, but the Strikebreaker is going to slow him, and now he's going to go down. Meanwhile, Nasus gets
Getting
still
bind.
slow. Is chasing the Morgana. Morgana out, but she will go down before the stun lands. And it's a 1-for-2. Meanwhile, Oriana engaging the Shogat and easily melts the Shogat. Shogat has to flash away, use the Blast Comb, and he will survive.
But that's not a good thing. It shows how powerful the Oriana is right now.
You can see the Shogat is 3 levels behind the Oriana. And now Dragon is being taken by the Phoenix.
First dragon for Phoenix.
You can see Phoenix is owning this game as they are snowballing hard with the Oriana. And now the Yone is also fed. Meanwhile, Pantheon might get chased. Misses his Q there by the Yone.
Saya Gale forced to try to get away from his Q, or else she might be able to die from that trade.
You can also see the Severe has also bought a Gale Force.
Oh,
Nasus going in on the Pantheon, gets the slow. And now the Pantheon is going to go down. Pyke out. Yone going in, gets knocked up by the Galio. Gets the kill on the Saya. Very well played there by the Yone. Pyke lands a hook on the Shogat, but doesn't land the stun.
Misses Pyke misses ult. But
Morgana lands the bind, but Pyke also hits his hook, and now Morgana has to go down. Meanwhile, Udyr coming from the backline gets the Severe, trying to run away, but will get stunned by the Pyke and will go down to the Dancers.
The Oriana is also here. She didn't participate in the fight. They're probably going for the tower.
Yep.
The Nasus deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, what can the Pantheon do? He is very behind. Meanwhile, Pyke misses his hook.
I don't think the Pantheon can do anything anymore because it's already hard since the Nasus is already very fed compared to last game. And also they have the Oriana and the Yone, which is also fed. So it'll be very hard for the Pantheon now unless he find like single pickoffs, which still will be hard because the only person he will be probably able to pick off is the Severe.
Yes, and now you can see the Phoenix has a 11k gold lead.
That's a lot. Look how deep the Nasus is standing. He's not even scared anymore because of.
Yeah, meanwhile, Yone going in on the Morgana gets fine. Nasus ulting, trying to chase the Saya, but decides he couldn't do anything. Meanwhile, Oriana does a little bit of poke. And now Yone fighting the Udyr is going to go down to the Udyr, but Pyke is going to execute him with his ult. Meanwhile, Nasus and Pyke chasing, and it's going to go down by the Pyke again. That's a double kill.
Olympians getting punished for overextending and overcommitting.
Yeah, and now that might cost them a inhibitor.
No, not just yet. They're just holding it out. They're pushing all lanes. The Sivir is very alone here, so they might be able to pick her off solo if. No, never mind. They're just trying to defend their base right now.
You can see Udyr trying to chase the Orianna.
Phoenix players are playing very deep, despite of having no reinforcements from their
Ooh,
team.
barely lands his Q there by the Shogas. Pike going in on the Morgana, lands his stun, but the Sivir is very low and it's going to go down by the Saya. Pike has to flash away, Pantheon ulting in, tries to survive.
He'll probably
And-
live. Yep, his team is
looks like
here.
he will live. Oh no, Pantheon flash jumping in.
Oh,
but-
nice ult from Orianna.
Yeah, very well played by the Orianna there, raiding in the bush. Go,
Flashes in for the kill.
gets the double kill.
Oh,
Nice ult by the Yone. And now it's a
Pantheon,
4-for-1.
Pantheon
Pantheon,
somehow getting not noticed by the enemy
Yeah.
team and teleport. Do you think that was intentional or were they just didn't see him?
I think they didn't see him as there were no wards there. But now Dragon spawning in 10 seconds and the enemy team will not be able to defend their tower. Ooh, nice damage by the Orianna. Morgana
Oh,
lands
hits.
Turbine, but
Oh
will
my
get
God.
killed. The Pantheon will get killed by the Orianna.
The Orianna now is 14-0. Very, very.
And
oh,
now the Morgana is going to die.
exploded.
I think she didn't see the ball, like the Orianna ball. Meanwhile, Shoka flashing in,
Oh,
and it's
shut
going
down.
to get killed.
That's not a very good thing.
A little bit of overextension there by the Orianna. She was a little bit too cocky, I must say.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
It seems like the Orianna is not participating in a lot of team fights. As you can see, she's solo pushing, and she's trying to pressure her.
Yes. Meanwhile, Pike going in misses his hook, has to E away, but the Udyr is going to survive. But like you say, the Orianna hasn't really been participating in team fights. Meanwhile, Yone going in on the Yasuo, Nasa's chasing the Shoka, not the Yasuo, sorry. And is going to get killed. Meanwhile, Pantheon going in on the Yone, has to flash away. Yone
nice
out back.
ult.
Udyr
Nice
trying
ult
to
from
do
the
damage.
Right there.
Morgana
Oh,
gets
nice.
deleted. And it's a triple kill Nasus, and now he's chasing the Saya. Lands
That will
is low.
probably be. Oh, another
Ooh,
hit.
look at that damage.
Another hit explodes.
And it's an ace.
Would that be game? That is
I-
going to probably
I
be
think
game.
that's the game. Yeah, so very well played there by the Phoenix.
Oh wait, they're not ending.
Oh, the Shoga is saying he wants to 1v1 the Yone. And so the Phoenix won't end the game right now.
Will that cost them the game though?
I don't think so, as all your team members except the Sivir is now very fed. Unless they're maybe they get caught out, which might cost them a disadvantage when it comes to team fights. But I would say unlikely, as you can see the Orianna can easily 1v2 the Pantheon and the Morgana.
If played in a team fight, the Orianna could probably do a lot more.
Yeah,
So-
she hasn't really been participating in team fights. So
The
if
Phoenix is mostly like just 3v5 the Olympians right now. So if it's a 5v5, probably
they might end the game
Yeah.
already. You can see the Phoenix, they still want to play this game as they know that victory is not long. They will probably be the champion for this year's tournament anytime soon. Meanwhile, Morgana and Yone are not doing anything. They're just emotes.
probably sure that that the Olympians will not be able to do anything to them either way. So that's why Phoenix is prolonging the game just for fun.
Yeah, but the more they wait, the more chance the Olympians have to farm up and catch up, which, like you said, might cost them the game.
But not
Mm,
likely.
Udyr
Oh.
going in on the Nasus. Stuns
Oh,
and
the
transfers away.
Nasus.
Look at that damage.
2 hits coming from the Nasus, and the Nasus is. Yep,
Yeah,
Nasus. Nasus with the collector.
so that's going to deal a lot of damage as well as being very tanky. You can see Shogath running away.
It seems no matter what, even if the Shogath wins, he wouldn't be able to make it back alive.
You can see Orianna split pushing. Does a little bit of damage on the Morgana.
Half health. Oh, they're trying to get solo kill the. Oh, they're trying to.
3-man on the Orianna. Morgana misses her bind, but Orianna is going to one-shot the Saya. Hourglass. Pyke trying to kill the Morgana, misses his out. Flashes, ignites the Morgana. But she will
That's not
survive.
very. Oh, Pyke's
Oh.
gonna go down too. Oh no.
So, misplays there by the Phoenix. Meanwhile, Yone and Shogath are 1v1ing. You can see Yone.
Shogath starts up trying, yeah.
You can see Yone easily melt the Shogath. Meanwhile, Sivir going on the Morgana, but isn't going to kill her. Will go down by the Udyr. Nasus queuing the Morgana Pantheon there, and is now chasing the Morgana. So
Oh, the Morgana's gonna probably going down too.
yeah,
Double kill for the Nasus.
can we see the specs of Nasus? I'm very interested in how many stacks he has right
I
now.
think probably like about 800 or 1,000.
You can see the
Yeah,
next
900.
item he's
Yeah,
building.
1,000.
Yeah, I think the next item is going to be Infinity Edge,
He-
based on the longsword and the crit there. And now Baron is being started by the Yone and Pyke. Meanwhile, Nasus is going to secure the third Drake. Pyke has to back away as he is low on health. But I'm guessing the Phoenix are just going to take this Baron and try to close out the game.
Yep.
Slain Baron Nashor.
Seems like.
Meanwhile, Pyke and Shogath with the Yone are having a standoff. Yone engaging the Shogath, but he's outnumbered. What can he do? Yone misses his ult, misses his Q, but Shogath misses his Q as well. You can see Yone gets the knockup. Yogas has to flash away, but Yo will kill him. Meanwhile, Nasus is 1v3 the enemy right now, chasing the Udyr, but won't get anything. So he's going to change his concentration on the Morgana. Lands his Q. Morgana Hourglass trying to survive as long as possible, but will go down to the Yone. And I think that's game. You can see Phoenix are not ending the game right now. And that is going to be it. So Phoenix has taken their victory with a 2-win. And now it's going to be the end of this year's League of Legends competition. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next year.